Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another cast of Total Annihilation Cast and also Breezy Cast, because this time I have Mr. Breezy with me to do a cast together of a 2v2 here on Gauntlet in ProTA. Breezy, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tag Breezy from Breezy Cast, and I'm glad to be here casting with Wingfire, man. Back at it again.
Yeah, man. I have to say, of all the casts I have ever done, of all the co-casters I've ever had, I think you have been my favorite. We've only done one cast together, which was a best of 5. And who was that between? Do you remember? It was between Venom and someone else.
Yeah, Venom and Frieza, I believe.
Oh,
The semis, yeah.
Yeah, Frieza, because he did the
There's a hot talked about game, I believe. The Gods of War.
Yeah, he did his Planet Destroyer or whatever it was called, and he cheesed the crap out of Venom, and that was pretty fun. That was a lot of fun to cast. But
yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, no, it was a good series. But guys, today we're casting a 2v2 on Gauntlet. Let's go ahead and introduce the players. Here in the bottom right, we've got. Oh my God! You know what? I'm gonna let you pronounce that. What is Purple's name?
Hyveltoffel?
Hyveltoffel. That's probably better than I could have. Hyveltoffel. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. You know, if you say that's how it's pronounced, and we have FFA Knob Gobbler. You know, I don't understand his name. Like, why would you gobble like a doorknob? Yeah, it's really strange. Don't understand.
There's only 2 knobs I know of.
Yeah,
and one's a doorknob, and the other, I don't know if I should say it. But
yeah, I don't fully understand the reference. You know, I'm assuming that it's very you know, good natured and not not inappropriate at all. But let's go ahead and introduce Yellow here. Stagnation. Going K-Bot first, and the gold player, fucking Bush Doof. I'm sorry, guys. That's his name. You know, what do you want from me? Here we have Purple moving in with some early weasels to try to get a little bit of harassment.
Bush Doof's getting doofed right now.
He certainly is. And he might actually even get this con. This con is a little bit out of position. There is.
Oh yeah, that thing's toast.
Yeah, it's gone for sure.
Oh, he should get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup by Purple, keeping it real.
Yeah.
Sometimes on a map like this, you don't expect your opponent to rush because, guys, this map is huge. I mean, you can see there's a massive distance between the two.
Yeah, it probably caught him off guard. He probably was not expecting that at all.
But,
yeah. I mean, it didn't take too well. I mean, he did take a good amount of damage. He lost one con, a couple of mexes there.
Yeah. So nice by Purple. Now, guys, I have cast on Gauntlet before, but I have never cast a ProTA match on Gauntlet. We'll go ahead and speed it up. Because the interesting thing about Gauntlet in escalation is that it pretty much always devolves into like T3, T4. You know what I'm saying? The super late game, ridiculous shenanigans. You know, juggernauts and dictators and all this stupid, insane shit that you'll see in escalation. But in ProTA, you don't have those, right? So you have to use the T2 technology in order to win. So how do these games usually play out, Breezy? I mean, how do you win a stalemate like this in a ProTA game?
Well, I think so. If the game does kind of hit a stalemate, we're probably going to see a transition into probably advanced air. We'll see probably bombers, maybe some brawlers.
Yeah.
Or rapiers, maybe some gunships to harass. We could see nukes. Definitely, probably going to see some big Berthas this game for sure.
Oh yeah.
Maybe possibly even a Vulcan or a buzzsaw if it gets later in the game.
Now, I've never actually seen a... oh, hang on. Hold that thought. Gold is moving down here with a few flashes, and he does pick up a con.
Yeah,
so
nice pickup.
Nice pickup, yeah. And just being annoying. A few flashes here probably won't inflict too much damage, but certainly giving purple a run for his money here. And yeah, those will finally be cleaned up. But what I wanted to say that's pretty interesting about this map is that even though these look like mountainous, craggy region, and it is that, there are certain areas on these plateaus that you can build, like, I'm pretty sure you can build, like, Big Berthas and such on these mountains.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
I've only seen this map a couple times, so I don't have too much. It's probably my first time seeing anybody play it on ProTA. That's more than I think I've seen 1v1 on it, and it was like Timmy Fred and I can't remember, maybe Cool Nick or something. But honestly, that'd be kind of cool to see some Big Berthas on the top.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yes. So you could probably build flak and missile towers up there too, huh? To help against like air flying over there.
Yeah, people do. They build tons of missile towers, flak, and things of that nature on the mountains just to, as you said, stop the inevitable aerial raids that come over the mountain passes. So you could also build Berthas, maybe. Of course, I have no idea how this game goes, guys. Neither of us have watched this replay, so we can't tell you how it's going to end, but we can tell you that it's going to be pretty epic. I do know that. It's going to be a good game. So.
See, I kind of like the unit compositions of each. Like, you have one player focusing on like instigators, so you can push in, and then slashers can kind of hit from range. Personally, I think like on these like very skinny, narrow, like it's better to go for like the missile units, like Rocco's and Samsons, stuff like that.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, certainly.
Less area for flashes to sneak by and raid, so they're just a little bit less effective.
Yeah, like what I was saying in my previous cast is that missile trucks are still really good in ProTA, in actually just in the skirmishing capacity against other T1 units, which is really interesting because in say like in Escalation and in say Bar, they're really not that good for that. They're mostly designed for their anti-air role.
Yeah.
And they're not useless against other ground units, but certainly heavily nerfed from OTA. But it's interesting in ProTA they keep the slasher kind of at the same power level it was, and they just try to balance everything around it.
So what about the missile towers? Do those only shoot air as well in Escalation?
In Escalation, for a long time, they only shot air. And it was only like within the past maybe 2 years that they do shoot ground now, but it's just heavily nerfed.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, maybe a fourth of the damage. Where in ProTA they do full damage. They do the same damage to air as they do to ground, I think.
Yeah.
So, but orange with a nice push here, a nice combination of storms and slashers, like you said, a really nice composition on these open, volley. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like that British warfare of like the 1600s where people would, the musketeers would stand in lines and just shoot volleys at each other. What was that called? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know. Like you're watching the Patriot when they're fighting. They're just standing 6 feet away, just blasting each other's muskets.
Yeah. And it was like honorable. It was honorable. You weren't allowed to, use the guerrilla warfare tactics. You were supposed to just stand there and get shot. That was how they did it.
Yeah. And I even like how Knob's mixing in some raiders here. Like it really absorbs a lot of damage, and they're great against like the missile towers. Great against the Samsons too, and they shoot over dragon teeth.
Yeah.
He's even got some Mortys. There we go. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of, probably a lot of T2 land.
For sure.
Could be any kind of mixture of units, to be honest. There are a lot of good, viable units to use.
Yeah, let's check out the player bases real quick. Well, there's a brief pause in the action. Purple on both K-Bot and TT vehicle. And Orange telling his teammate to reclaim. Now, you had mentioned earlier that reclamation is really important in ProTA. I think Venom had said the Recs are worth 80% of the original cost, so that's huge. That's a huge amount of metal.
Yeah, I think that's very high compared to how it is in Escalation, right?
Yeah, in Escalation, I don't know what it is, but I want to say 40% or less. You know, it's nowhere near the full value of what you pay to get the unit.
Yeah, so like controlling these rec fields it's very important, because it's a lot of metal just sitting there, and you can literally just like stop. You can even just stop your economy and just like fully just go with this big huge push and just fuel your economy with Rex alone and win the game that way. There's plenty of different tactics you can use.
Yeah, no, I think that's an interesting difference, because it fuels this very combat-oriented gameplay, and certainly ProTA does seem to be like, you know, I've heard Venom criticize Escalation by saying it's too much of a snooze fest, or that it's SimCity. Now I really like Escalation, so I'm not, but I do think that both the mods have interesting takes on their design and the different ways that they try to make the gameplay interesting or unique. Now Yellow has gone T2 aircraft here pretty early on with the Hawk spam, which is it's always pretty good.
Yep, Hawks will always be. Hawks are basically like the end game air unit. That's like kind of what you want to mass. So you're usually going to see a lot of Hawks, but gunships are pretty good. Like if you have Hawk control, like air control, you can actually do a lot of damage with brawlers as well. They've been buffed a good amount.
Yeah, brawlers have been buffed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool, actually. I didn't know that. Brawlers were okay in OTA, but they weren't great. So it's nice to hear that they've been buffed.
Yeah, they're actually they're pretty useful, especially on like big maps. You can really like abuse like the mobility of them.
No, it's a really, like you said, if the brawler's interesting because it's one of those units where if the opponent builds the right counters, they can just feel kind of useless. But if the opponent doesn't build the right counters, they could just take over the game, right? Like if there's no flags, if there's no Hawks, they can just shred through missile towers, Samsons. They're just very powerful in the right situation. But Orange and Purple really trying to push through here.
They got a nice push going on.
Let's go ahead and slow it down just a little bit, because we don't want to miss the action. But
yeah, like these Dominators mixed in here.
Yeah, nice job with the Dominators are pretty good against the static defenses, of course, the Annihilators.
Yeah. Yep, they shoot over those fort walls pretty well, which is nice.
Yeah. And honestly, Gold built his base very close to the front line, which is kind of coming back to bite him a little bit here, because you...
yeah, all of his production's here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem for sure.
Yeah. Bush Doof, man. He's in a little bit of a dangerous spot.
Yeah, he was playing very aggressively, and, it's not I'm not saying it's a bad strategy. Like, it can certainly work out, but it is risky. And the Southern team certainly taking full advantage of the...
Gotta get your combat there, Bush Doof.
Yep. Let's go ahead.
The Dominators would kill it really fast if he gets close enough. He's got to be careful.
Oh my god, he moved just in time.
Oh.
And now Yellow finally using his Hawks. I'm surprised it took him this long to
use those?
To use them, because there really is no anti-air. Oh no, I won't say no, but there's not much anti-air here at the front line. And these Hawks, unlike in Bar, they can't even shoot the ground in Bar, and in Escalation, they're heavily nerfed. But in ProTA, Hawks are pretty strong even against ground.
Yeah, ground, air.
Yeah.
Yeah, even C units, they're strong, man. They're strong. But
So
I think they kind of wanted to keep it that way because that's how they were in OTA. But we have, I know Venom has nerfed them quite a bit in pretty much all areas. So they're definitely not as strong as they used to be, but they're still, the most powerful end game unit.
Yeah, very well rounded. Just a strong unit, like you said, in general.
Yeah, so it's what kind of, anybody building some sneaky, maybe some nukes or?
I haven't seen anything yet that's too out of the ordinary. But however, the Southern team, if you just look at the mega map here, really breaking through, and oh man, yellow and gold have to be careful because they're kind of in trouble.
Yeah, they're kind of holding on by a thread here. Some I forget, maybe some Lugers with I think Bushdoof, if made some Lugers, could help fight against these Dominators.
He's got a few here.
Oh yeah.
But one thing I didn't mention is that this is a game of ARM versus Core, so the Northern team is ARM and the Southern team is Core. And
I didn't notice that.
who do you give the advantage? Now, obviously, in OTA, ARM was just kind of better in most ways. But ProTA is different, and in these long, drawn-out slugfests, who would you give the advantage in this kind of game?
I don't know. It's tough because it's actually. I feel like it's pretty even. I know sumos are a little overtuned, so if one of the core players did switch into sumos, the North team would have to probably switch into like penetrators of some sort. I'd give core the edge on the land, but I still think air-wise, I think ARM is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Because Farks, you want to build a lot of Farks in the late game in ProTA. That's like your main build power. That's how you scale up really fast. And I know Necros, they kind of match the Fark, but they're still a little more expensive than a Fark. So you can kind of scale a little bit faster, I think, with ARM, just because Farks are cheaper.
Now, guys, one thing that's really interesting is that in Bar, the res spots, which both teams get in Bar,
it's T1.
It's T1. And it's also better simply because they can help each other. So you can have like 20 res bots resing the same thing, and it'll make it go faster. But it's also an accessibility type thing where you can just click an area and have the bots res the whole area. Where in TA you have to click each corpse individually, which is kind of annoying. But a nice push coming through here between purple and orange.
Yellow's pulling his Hawks over to help. That's good. And he should send his Zeus's over to the right, but he is controlling those Hawks, and it takes up a lot of your micro.
Yeah, as you said, a lot of units here that are kind of inactive.
Yeah, just kind of chilling, just watching from afar.
Yeah, Zeus's are pretty strong. If you could get those into the mix, that would certainly help. These Lugers are certainly going to contribute.
And I like what Knob's doing here. He's mixing in some are those crashers and slashers to help deal with the Hawks. Here we go. So Stagnation's finally pulling his units over, and that should pretty much throw this push off. A lot of reclaim for a bush dupe in Stagnation now. They can control it.
Yeah.
Which I think they should be able to with these Hawks controlling over the air. Oh, there we go. Some brawlers.
Yeah, finally some brawlers in the mix. And that's really nice, but of course we did see purple had a what are they called, Cobras? What is the mobile flak unit? trying to remember for core.
I think the Cobra's. I don't remember the name.
You're right. That might be the static one.
I think Cobra's the stationary one.
Yeah, you're right.
I
Either
forget
way,
the name of it.
Purple had a mobile flak, but that did get killed. And it looks like the Dominators and the Slashers did okay. Actually, there's quite a bit of anti-air in this group. So I don't know. I don't know if this is enough brawlers to really.
Yeah, his army should be fine. That's they got a lot of missile towers on the right there, and he should be all right.
But yeah, as of right now, I don't see anything too extreme. No nukes yet, or Berthas.
Yeah, no nukes. Looks like they're just focusing on just land pressure and air.
Here we go. Here's an Intimidator.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
That could. Now, one thing that I found interesting about the ProTA Berthas or long-range plasma cannons is that they're not super accurate. But it feels like when they hit, I mean, they do so much damage. What's your experience with those?
So like, especially on smaller maps, that unit can just straight up end the game if you protect it well enough.
Okay.
So like the trick is, because yeah, like you said, they miss a lot, and Intimidators miss. Their accuracy is even worse than a Bertha at the start. So the best thing you could do is just like target just like a big blob, so no matter what, it's probably going to hit something, and you'll get vet really quick.
Right.
And then you start targeting production resources like fusions, stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw you had played a game on Racine Crossing against, was it Rock? I think it was Rock that you played against.
Oh yeah, brutal game. Yeah.
And you had two Berthas, and you were just wailing on him, and he tried to kill him a few times, but he was having trouble. And you were just holding the bridge there.
So you can you do that in escalation, like nano blocking? Is that a thing
you can still do that.
So if you build something in front of what you're trying to protect, it basically gives your unit a shield, and you can really sit there with your con and spam it, and it'll absorb pretty much all the bombs, like if they come in with bombers. It's a little trick you can use to keep your Intimidators alive.
Yeah, once again, the Southern team pushing in, but Gold does have quite a few Lugers here, and
it's kind of keeping them at bay, which is good. Yeah.
But this Intimidator will get done soon.
Seems like the core players are focusing a lot more on the land, and so it seems like they're going to focus more on land, maybe mix in some flak, and try to win with the Intimidators, while the top team seems to be more focused on air, probably going to make some bombers, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And has some queued up.
Yeah, Yellow has a few Phoenix, and he does have control of the sky, so these Phoenix could really be pretty devastating if used correctly. We'll try to keep an eye on that, guys. Try to keep an eye on those Phoenix. And now Gold also building Hawks, so the northern team certainly has taken air control, but the southern team seems to have a much better grasp of the land.
Yeah.
And now with an Intimidator as well.
Oh yeah, here come the sumos. I saw one.
Oh, did you see a sumo down here?
There they come.
Yeah.
The big boys.
Yeah, sumos are very scary. They can both absorb and dish out a ton of damage.
Yeah, they are a little OP in ProTA at the moment. They're going to get nerfed in the next patch.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so they're pretty strong right now.
Well, it's hard. It's kind of hard to balance it because it's so slow.
Yeah.
You know, you want to make it strong if it's going to be that sluggish, but also you don't want to make it too strong. But this is a nice composition. I like what the South team has here. If they can work together and use these sumos as a front line and then use the pillagers in the back line, that could be a very nice combo.
Yeah, that's a nasty combination.
And now Yellow building his own Bertha at the front.
Oh yeah, and it looks like who's that? Toffel?
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his name.
Purple. Yeah.
Yeah, purple.
Purple. Yeah.
Yeah, purple's got a Timmy now.
Yeah. So purple has that Intimidator, and we're gonna see how much of an effect it has. Let's slow it down a little bit. Couple copperheads. That's what they are.
Copperheads. Yeah.
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 Couple copperheads at the front line, and this will certainly protect the army. But here comes the bombers. Slow it down. They're going straight for the Intimidator, not even pausing. No, not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
The fort wall saved that.
Yeah. Really,
their job.
The Southern team was ready for that. They had a lot of defense. They had these copperheads. They had some vamps, and they had the fort walls. And now this Intimidator.
Oh wow, that big Bertha finished quick.
Yeah.
You could actually kill it because they don't know that it's up.
But now this push, like you were talking about, sumos are very strong. And as long as purple can keep these pillagers in the back line, this could be a very scary push indeed.
Yeah. I like where he's keeping those pillagers, like he's keeping them at a good distance. They're using their units pretty well together.
Oh my god, this Intimidator is about to die. The Bertha has been targeting it. So can this Bertha take out that Intimidator and give the northern team this artillery supremacy? Oh my god, it's so close. One more hit.
Fort walls, man.
The fort walls are down. And most of the air defense... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one more shot and that thing's toast.
Here we go. Could this be the one? It's gone. Yeah,
oh yeah, they got it. Now see, the one thing Core has advantage of here is they have Necro, so he can revive that.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that'd be interesting if they rezzed the...
Yeah.
I don't know what Orange is doing with his Hawks. He just kind of flew him in there.
Yeah, not the best micro there.
No, and yellow will get the
Gobbler.
better. Yeah, Gobbler.
Oh.
What'd you see there?
I don't know. I just saw a bunch of Hawks die. Was there like a flak there? Maybe there's a flak. That's a scary push here. I don't know if they can they stop it.
Yeah, we have quite a few sumos, but the sumos are getting low. A couple of them very low. And with those Hawks and the Lugers, they should be able to clean this up. We also have some shooters here. So great job by the North team. They really did... They did a good job. They stopped the push and they took out the Intimidator, and now they have the only long-range plasma cannon on the field. It has 6 kills already. So very, very nice. Very nice by the Northern team.
Yeah, they're holding on strong. Yeah, those ambushes they're very strong.
Yeah, they certainly are. Yeah, these ambushers, as we saw in the game between Tip and Rock on John's Pond, those ambushers can certainly change the game. Very powerful defense. Some brawlers coming in. Guys, this is not how you use brawlers. Just in case you want to know, this is just not really the way.
Yeah, flying them into Hawks, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bush Doof.
Yeah. And then the ARM mobile flax is called the Phalanx.
Oh yeah, Phalanx, yeah, that's right.
But it seems like this...
he actually destroyed the wreck now. That's actually pretty smart of them to do that.
This Bertha is still firing at where the old Intimidator was, so I'm not even sure if they know. Okay, you don't want to rebuild it literally. No.
I know Toffles, he is a new player.
Okay.
Yeah, so some of his decisions. I mean, considering how new he is, he's actually been controlling his units pretty well. He's learned pretty quick, picked it up.
Here come another group of Hawks and Phoenix down the middle.
Oh. Are they bombing the thing
yeah.
that's already dead?
They don't know that it's dead. That's so funny. 5 flags. 5. Unbelievable. That's so much air defense, guys. But I'm really a little disappointed that Yellow has not taken these bombers down the left side here.
Oh, I know.
And tried to go for...
Even the Hawks. Look at that fusion's pretty exposed there.
He
could have picked that off.
There's a lot of great targets in the southern base that that Yellow could take advantage of. All right.
I'd recommend for both teams probably a little more scouting.
Yeah, certainly if you're going to invest tens of thousands of metal for a bombing run, just send a scout or two first to make sure you don't waste it on nothing.
Yeah.
But still, the southern team pushing up and slowly making progress towards the north. Of course, these ambushers, as you said, so powerful. 8 kills on this one, 24 kills on this one, and some shooters as well in the back there.
Yeah, shooters are pretty... that's pretty much what you have to build to stop those sumos. Probably the best unit for it.
Yeah, this will be a difficult position to break.
Yeah.
Of course, that will not stop the southern team from trying. But Yellow is still targeting where that dead Intimidator was. I think he's forgotten that he can use his Bertha to fire at other targets.
Yeah. Honestly, when the games get... sometimes even I do this sometimes. I'm pretty sure I did that quite a bit in that rock game on Racing. There's just so many things you're controlling, and sometimes it just slips your mind a little bit.
Guys, TA can be very micro-heavy. This is... especially in these big games where there's so much going on, it can be easy to forget what is happening. And this ambusher will go down. And the northern team beginning to maybe crumble here.
Yeah, they're breaking through here. I like how Knob kind of just switched the land push from the right to the left. I think that helped them push through a little bit.
Yeah, nice little aerial battle here between Hawks and Vamps. And,
that's a lot of Bulldogs, though.
Yeah, it is a lot of Bulldogs.
I feel like Bush Dude has the opportunity here maybe to do a counterattack. Is there friendly fire in Escalation?
Yeah, is there friendly fire in ProTA?
Yeah. Oh, they are. I do see a nuke being built. Yeah. So with nukes, the way to get through antis is you build those neutrons. And what's the other one called? I forget the name.
The neutralizer, I think it's called.
Yeah, there's a neutralizer, and then I forget what the... Is that the core one? I'm not good with names.
You're talking about the tactical nukes, right?
Yeah, but they're you kind of use those missiles and they burn through the anti-nuke missiles.
Yeah.
So you can spam a bunch of those neutrons to burn through the anti-nuke, and then you can launch your nukes in. Stuff like that. Or you can just bomb it,
Yeah, or Berthas.
Whatever. Yeah, Berthas work too.
This Bertha is still targeting that
same spot.
The dead Intimidator. It's been dead for a long, long time now.
Yeah, he's making sure that thing's dead. It stays dead.
Yeah, between that and the bombing run and everything, they're just very, very committed to making sure that there are no Intimidators on the southern side. But here in the player bases, do we see any anti-nukes? I don't see any anti-nukes here.
Not for purple, and not for Knob either.
That's kind of scary. Guys, at 51 minutes, if you don't have an anti-nuke, you are braver than me. I'll just say that. You're very brave.
Yeah. You've got some cojones.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. That is a spirited decision. I wouldn't recommend it. Guys in bar, if you don't have an anti-nuke by 15 minutes, you're really just asking to get sent back to the Stone Age. But like you said, it's a lot of bulldogs, and there's quite a few shooters as well.
Yeah, really good unit comp from Bush Duke here. I don't know if I like that Hawk Patrol, but I think they're all just, those Copperheads are just eating them up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flag there too. It's going to be hard to break that.
This is a, seems like a bit of a doomed push. It's not really going to make it through, so.
Yeah. Yeah, with the ambushers there, I mean, if he targets if the Big Bertha targets the ambusher,
yeah,
it starts hitting these like these laser towers and stuff. They could possibly break this, but
this thing has 68 kills, guys.
It's owning.
Yeah.
Those ambushers and toasters, they have increased range to over the Punisher and Guardian, so they control a lot of space.
Yeah, I'd really love to see that Bertha target that.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect target because that thing is just eating up all their units.
But let's go ahead and check out the bases again. Let's see. Of course, we still have that nuke. I don't know how long it's going to take to finish the stockpile, but
as long as he's not stalling too bad on energy, it should build pretty quickly.
And yeah, we'll have to watch because I didn't see any anti-nukes in the southern base at all, unless they're cloaked. I mean, they could be cloaked, right?
The anti-nukes?
Can you cloak them, or is that not possible in ProTA?
I don't think that. Yeah, it's not possible in ProTA. I know they have the mobile ones. Maybe he has a mobile one somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about the mobile ones. But guys, we're gonna try to watch the map because we don't want to miss a nuke.
Yeah, nuke go off.
Yeah, that would be a pretty big blunder if we missed a nuclear attack. But in situations like this, sometimes I kind of want the southern team to just consolidate their forces a little bit. You know what I mean? Just kind of, instead of just sending an endless stream of units, you know, playing like the AI. Maybe kind of get your forces together and do something more substantial.
Yeah, I hear you. I would like to see that too. Because right now they're kind of like one's pushing one side, one's pushing the other side. I get they don't want a friendly, but at least like bring the units a little bit closer together so you can have your. They definitely, like, if they want to break, they need more flak.
Oh yeah. And yellow bringing some bombers to the front line, but again, I don't really agree with this. I mean, I don't feel like the best place for bombers is the front line. It's the back line. It's the base, the economy, the production. Even a commander.
Yeah, like if he could even send just like 3 or 4 Hawks to go scout Orange's base and send those bombers. Like that fusion is literally right next to the edge, no anti-air near it. He could pick off a fusion, bomb some production, stuff like that. That's usually what you're looking for with those bombers.
And the players really not taking advantage of these mountainous paths. Even those scouts that Gold just sent, you know, he flew them right into the flak. He could have sent them down the edge of the map and guaranteed that they could see something.
Yeah.
And you've got to use the edge of the map on this. Here's the nuke. Let's see what it's going for.
Oh, there we go. What's he nuke in the front?
Why?
Wait, did he just nuke where the Big Bertha and the Big Bertha is still?
It's dead. It's dead. God, for them, it's such a nightmare. It's like they can't let it go. You know?
They're just like, die. Okay.
They're traumatized by the Big Bertha, and they just can't.
Yeah, so I don't know. So in Escalation, how did the Big Berthas? I know in ProTA the Intimidator has, I think, about 20% more range.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the Big Bertha it's going to be a little more. It's going to be more accurate, especially scaling off that. But the Intimidator has a little bit more range.
Is that how it was in OTA, or do you know?
Yes, it was pretty much like that. I think they changed the how much range the Intimidator had over. I think they nerfed it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, yeah, it was the same.
Well, I mean, I won't say that nuke was completely wasted. They did take out the flak, and so that is giving them some more aerial maneuverability here in the south.
True. Now they can actually, when they push in, they can use their hawks.
But this Bertha has been targeting where that Intimidator was the whole game. Like, it has not changed targets. That's really hard as a caster to watch because it's such a waste of such a powerful structure to just use it, like, essentially to kill one thing and never use it.
All you have to do is just select it once and press
stop.
S.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then it'll start targeting anything else like units or... honestly, I think it'd have like hundreds of kills by now if it wasn't just targeting that one spot.
You're right. I mean, even if it was
probably could have broke that front line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Certainly, it could have taken this toaster out a long time ago.
Yeah.
And if we look at the toaster, it now has 83 kills. So, toaster MVP, but now the Hawks do get a little more room to kind of maneuver.
Slowly creeping forward.
Yeah. But again, I mean, I don't even see any anti-nukes back here at all.
Yeah, the Team South is definitely far behind on the economy.
Yeah.
By a huge amount, I think.
No, you're right. If you look at the
suffer here.
If you look at the eco,
yeah, it's hard for me to see it, but I feel like Bushdoof is far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
And he is the most experienced player, so I mean that's what I expect from Bushdoof.
Yeah, Yellow going for a nice counterattack, and the Southern team has not really defended their west that well. They have a ton of Sentinels here, or HLTs, but there's just not that much defense on the left side. And as you said, the Southern team, both players only at about 100 metal per second, but the Northern team basically double that. So eco-wise, the Northern team is pretty far ahead. And even though the Southern team, it seemed like early on they had an advantage, it seems like they're starting to crumble. They're losing the war for the middle now.
Yeah, they're losing the war on the ground, so they're not really getting the wrecks to keep their push going, and then they're also down economically. So it's kind of like a double whammy.
But yeah,
it's really starting to break through now, huh?
It is still really hard to watch this Bertha just continue to fire at the ground, you know.
I think he's actually completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Which is funny because he's building a second one, but it's like, you know, use your first one before you build the second one.
So like further down there we go. So he's trying to build a Intimidator now to fight back. Hopefully, if he does end up killing the Bertha, he doesn't do the same exact thing and forget it.
Oh my God! No,
there is an anti going up. I see it.
Oh yeah! Finally, purple building an anti-nuke at an hour into the game. So, here's another nuke. Oh no, that was are these the EMP missiles that we just saw there?
Yeah, those. Yeah, so those can actually eat up the anti-nuke missiles as well. And I believe each one has like a certain effect.
Here's another nuke.
Oh yeah, there.
Hold that thought. Here comes another nuke. And I don't think they have an anti-nuke to stop this. It's going to land.
Oh, he's going for the... What was there?
Well, the anti-nuke was being built.
Oh, it's okay. So he sniped
Yeah.
the anti. All right.
That was it.
I thought he was going to go for those K-bot labs. I thought that's what his target was.
Yeah, and Purple informing his teammate that he got the anti-nuke, so yeah, Purple saying it had 5% left, but maybe he doesn't know that you also have to build the anti-nuke, so it was...
yeah, it doesn't just come with one.
Yeah, it doesn't just... As nice as that would be, as convenient as that would be, that doesn't...
I would love that.
Yeah.
Because I won't lie to you, I've lost games like that where I build the damn thing, and then I was like, all right, I just got nuked. How? And I look at the thing, I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot to queue up those missiles.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Pretty brutal.
But yeah, now the northern team's slowly beginning to push, and I don't know, the southern team in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's a big... they just have really more of everything at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is fine since there's I don't think there's any flak there, so... well,
I don't see any, but there might be. He's building some right now.
Yeah.
Okay, here comes the bombers to take out the...
Oh, there we go.
GG, that's gone.
Yeah, let's see if he just...
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of a pause there.
Yeah, it's always a little scary when that happens. Usually that's a crash.
Yeah, the recorder is not the most stable, guys. It can crash. It can and will crash. So.
I remember your cast the other day when you typed sonar.
Yeah.
I think I had to cast it. I did the same thing. It pooped out on me.
It does that. Yeah, it's guys. It's very old tech.
Yeah, back in our day, we just used the old recorder.
Yeah. It's amazing that you can even record games because, guys, TA did not come with the ability to record replays. A group of people called the Swedish Yankspankers.
I love that name.
They designed from scratch the ability to record games. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, honestly, if those guys never did that, I don't think we'd be watching this right now.
There probably wouldn't be a TA scene. I mean, that was huge.
Yeah.
That was kind of like discovering the fire. You know, it was definitely needed that in order to have a community. You know, be able to have these replays and cast games and stuff like that. And now the funny thing is that that same group of people designed the Spring engine that eventually became Bar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same group of guys. But yeah, at this point, the northern team, yellow and gold, have so much aerial supremacy here. This many Hawks, we might as well be watching an OTA game. This is
Yep. This is this is endgame ProTA right here, baby.
Yeah, this is scary. This is a very, very scary situation to be in. Orange calling GG, and yeah, the southern team is in quite a bit of trouble for sure.
Yeah, that nuke taking out all that initial flak. I don't think they had any flak pretty much anywhere else. So once they broke through that, pushing through the rest is pretty easy since they have such air dominance.
Yeah, and there is some flak on in the southern team's base, but at this point it just kind of feels like a matter of time. Here comes another nuke.
There we go. Yeah, Bushtooth pretty much the only player really thinking outside the box here, trying to do different things.
Nice. I mean, I don't know about that target, but
yeah. I mean, questionable targets with the nukes. I think what he's playing, he's just trying to break whatever's in front, so you can just keep pushing through. But honestly, just hitting production would be even better, I think.
Now, one thing that's interesting in ProTA versus Escalation. In ProTA, the nuke is still T2, I think, just like it was in the original.
Yeah.
So
How do those get used often in Escalation? Or does that stuff usually get, like, skipped
the
for
nukes?
T3? Yeah.
Oh, well, so in ProTA, the tactical nukes are T2, right? And the tactical nukes in ProTA are kind of like almost the same radius as the nukes in this game. Like, I'd say a nuke is about that big, maybe a little less, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's about that size. Yeah.
But the actual nuke is a T3 thing, and when it hits, like, it's like, huge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's really funny to watch when it'll take out a whole base.
Yeah, I don't know too much about, like, I did play in the Escalation tournament that they had this year,
Did you?
but I never really got past, I'm just not good. I haven't really experimented too much beyond, like, the basics of Tier 2, so I don't really know what holds in store for the rest of the, like, Tier 3, Tier 4. There we go. So he's launching all the... Yeah, he's trying to burn through the anti-nukes if they have them.
Yeah. Which is pretty smart. It's a pretty good idea, because... yeah, orange will tap out, and now purple... The last remaining core player.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Knob Gobbler gobbled his last knob.
Yeah, he did. It was a valiant effort. Both teams did really well.
Yeah.
It was an interesting match, and it's fun to see how ProTA plays out on a map like this.
Yeah, I love watching just like pure ARM versus core matches.
Yeah.
But it looks like ARM is going to take the victory on this one.
Yeah, purple in a lot of trouble here, and he will get surrounded. And,
great bomb and run there at the end though by Stagnation. Yeah. That was actually a really good run. Would have loved to see that.
Yeah, 30 minutes ago.
30 minutes earlier.
Yeah,
but,
guys,
they got there. Yeah.
That was an interesting game. It was interesting to see how this map is played on ProTA versus Escalation. Of course, in Escalation, it would be, you'd be T3 and T4, and you'd have the giant metal mechs, who knows what kind of shenanigans. So it's interesting just seeing how the game plays out when you don't have that technology. You just have to stick to the old...
For ProTA, you kind of have to rely more on the Big Berthas, Vulcans, the nukes with the neutrons to eat up the antis. Yeah, since there's not really... I mean, I would have loved to see some Krogoth this game. This is definitely a good map for it.
Yeah.
But looks like they didn't really choose that option.
No, guys, I've been wanting to see a Krogoth in ProTA just to see how strong it is, or what, how Venom decided to balance that. So that'll be interesting. I'm sure eventually we'll cast a game that we get to see a ProTA Krogoth. That'll be pretty fun. So
yeah,
but
I do recall playing a 3v3 with Venom, and Venom actually made a bunch of Krogoths. It was a really fun game.
Yeah, maybe I'll check that out. But Breezy, thanks for coming on, man. It's always a pleasure to cast with you. And guys, I hope you'd enjoyed this game, and I will see you, or we'll both see you in the next cast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
I had a lot of fun.
Me too, man.
Love it when you cast some ProTA.
Thanks, man, and we will definitely do this again soon. So,
all right, yeah. Take care, guys.